Welcome to another edition of Eyes on the Tigers, Channel 97 News.
We come to you today from the OHS Commons, and here's what you'll see on today's show.
We take a look at the superintendent's plans for the future of the school district.
We'll see how OHS seniors are spending their final months at Oakville.
We find out what's up with Oakville cheerleaders.
And we see how hip OHS teachers really are.
We'll have all that and much more on today's edition of Eyes on the Tigers, Channel 97 News.
And it all starts now. Welcome back to Eyes on the Tigers, Channel 97 News. I'm Taylor Zaff.
And I'm Jackie Druppard.
In December, the St. Louis area experienced the most traumatic flood it's had since 1993.
No Oakville student has ever experienced a flood this severe.
Let's see how Oakville students and their families were affected by these rising waters.
Over winter break, the Oakville community was heavily affected by floodwaters.
Our neighborhood was kind of just like blocked out because there was flooding on both sides of the street. It was on New Year's Eve, and we actually had to stay in a hotel for the night.
We had a whole bunch of flooding in our basement, and we worked for about 16 hours straight bucketing out water. We still ended up with about 8 inches all the way across our basement of water. Our neighbor had 6 feet though, so it just showed that we bucketed out that much water, and we would have had 6 feet of water in our basement. My basement was kind of like my man cave, so losing that kind of sucked.
However, one Oakville family suffered greater losses.
The water was about 5 foot in this area right here. Everything had to be taken out, all the drywall, all the insulation, all the electrical. Basically, the only thing we can keep is the plumbing. We now sleep on an air mattress in my mom's living room. She sleeps in a bedroom. We don't really have anything left as far as personal stuff. All the furniture, anything that was a cloth material, yearbooks, all that kind of stuff from my childhood was gone. A lot of pictures were saved, but some weren't able to be saved, so stuff like that. Right now, to get the electrical and the drywall and heating and cooling, we're at about $90,000. As far as personal items, I'm thinking with the bedrooms and the living room and stuff like that, we're probably around $10,000 to $20,000 that we'll need to get everything back. Oh, luckily I do have insurance on the house itself, but as far as the stuff inside the house, I will have to pay for. The night before, we had the people come out to actually, it did ice everywhere, so we had to put salt down everywhere, but the snow and the cold weather actually stopped the smells and the bacteria from growing, so it actually helped out more than anything else. Right now, we've been out for about 3 weeks, and I think I've got another couple weeks before we start construction, so I would say about 2 months.
Although many items were lost and damaged due to the floodwaters, we're happy to say that these families are A-OK. With Shannon Strobel and Jackie Jeppard behind the camera, this is Imani Kellum with Channel 97 News.
In our next story, Allison and Veronica get insight from Dr. Gaines about the future of the Melville School District.
My name is Chris Gaines, and I'm the new superintendent here in Melville.
Anytime you come into a job, there's some things that people think should be done. In our case, it was largely the budget challenges, and thanks to the community that passed Prop R, it really puts us on a solid foundation.
It's hard, I think, for any superintendent in any given situation to come into a district who's struggling. I think he's done a fine job handling it. Although it's a smaller venue that he was in before, I think that he's applying some of those same processes to a larger district.
Dr. Gaines also has some new innovative ideas for the Melville School District.
The big plan that we unveiled is the notion of opening a new elementary school in the 17-18 school year based around personalized learning and project-based learning and pretty close to a one-to-one elementary school. It's going to be at St. John, so we got to move a bunch of pieces around. So we're going to take the Alt Academy and embed that into the 2 high schools. We're going to move Stretch, and then we'll move Scope into Witzel, which will free up St. John for this new school. There'll be a choice, so kids will have to apply to go there. Their parents will have to apply. And then we'll select the kids on a lottery basis, but it'll be representative of the district as a whole.
They're able to embark in these more independent-based learning projects. That's different from the traditional classrooms where it's still driven by the teacher and the students working together in a general classroom setup, but with this project-based setup, it could be them doing things outside of the classroom in the community.
It's energizing to have something brand new in the district that provides students with a whole nother way of learning.
We're looking forward to all that, and we got a lot of work to do in the next year to get that ready.
With Allison Frisella, I'm Veronica Moheski for Channel 97 News.
Hey, remember, Jackie, you need to balance audio on the stories, make sure all story teams do their lower thirds, and start archiving footage for that senior broadcast, okay? Great. See you later.
Man, I can't wait to get out of here. Then no more line producing for me. I should have graduated early.
Graduate early? Is that a thing?
Yeah, some people in my class have already graduated. Let's take a look.
As you look around the school, you might see a few less faces. 5 seniors from the class of 2016 decided to cut their high school experience a semester short. Here's how.
Those students who do in their senior year want to graduate early, they start with their counselor. There's an application that they have to fill out that I have to approve, and they have to come in and talk to me, and they have to really prove to me that they have to do this. This is a necessary piece to what they want to do.
They have to be going on continuing their education, so they're going to be going to college. They'll be starting college then the winter semester or winter semester at the university. So the good thing is they're off and about and starting to earn college credit. The downside is that you miss out on a lot of the happenings of second semester senior year.
There are even a few juniors considering early graduation for next year.
The reason why I want to graduate early is because I don't like the way that the traditional school system is set up. I don't like the idea of coming to school every day in the morning and staying here for 7 hours.
Students must also take in consideration the financial aspects of going to college.
I thought it was going to be beneficial at first because you get a head start into college, but then as I did more research on it, it's actually not, because tuition is very expensive, but then if you think of the cost of classes versus the cost of here, which is dual credit, it's only a couple $100s versus thousands.
We walked around OHS and asked current seniors if they wish they would have graduated early.
No, I wouldn't have liked to graduate early because I feel like I'd be missing out on a lot at school, and I'm definitely not ready to take on the responsibility of going to college yet.
I have a lot of friends here that I've gained over the last few years in high school, so I didn't want to quite leave them yet.
I would have missed out on basketball, so I wouldn't have graduated. I wouldn't like to graduate early.
Good luck to all the students who graduated early and those who are thinking about it for next year. With Tara Vogler and Cassidy McNeil behind the camera, I'm Katie Freshman for Channel 97 News.
While some seniors have already graduated, most of the class of 2016 is still around, and they're having some fun. Madison, Katie, and Brady have the story.
On January 16th, the class of 2016 enjoyed a night at Hidden Valley for the Polar Plunge.
I think that it brings the senior class together because we're just having a lot of fun as a class, and it's just a fun bonding experience for us. So.
The Polar Plunge was wonderful. Bit chilly that night, but it was great. Hidden Valley really took care of us. They got us out on the Polar Plunge is at tubing, and it was fast.
I had a good time. I wish there would have been a little bit more seniors, but I mean, it was still fun. 5 times in 3 hours, we got to go down, so that's kind of cool.
Senior class principal Mr. Bullington is planning more monthly events in a meaningful way.
Here in 2016, trying to do a little something each month, as close to the 16th as we can. So the Polar Plunge, it was on January 16th. Next month, on February 16th, we're going to have pickleball and pizza in Gym B. That'll be right after school. March, we're still working on something. Try to get out to hopefully one of our local restaurants and have a little fundraiser for All Night Grad. In April, we're going to shoot for kickball. And then the last 16th is going to be study for finals, but I'll bring in something a little special for the seniors.
It's a good opportunity for the senior class to bond one last time before we leave.
The next class that I have is a class of 19, and perhaps on the 19th of each month, once we get to 2019, maybe we'll do something again. But there will be nothing quite like the class of 2016.
With Madison Ponceroli and Katie Januska, I'm Brady Castillo for Channel 97 News.
The seniors are not the only students who get to try something new.
That's right. The cheerleaders are doing something they have never had a chance to do before.
Let's check out the story.
This year, there have been changes made to Varsity's winter cheer season.
We said go! You said fight! Go! Fight!
Definitely have a lot more practices. There's not really a week off. We only had like 1 or 2 practices, maybe a week, and now we have like 3 or 4 plus games.
After not competing for the past 4 years, the varsity squad is back in competition.
Whenever we were freshmen, the varsity squad, there was just complications like throughout the whole practice season of it, and they just didn't feel like prepared. In our senior year, me and 2 other girls, we went to Zupon and we were like, we really want to compete. We want to do competition. We want to get the recognition that we think we put all this hard work into.
It was a team decision. There was a lot of surveys and a lot of extra commitment involved, but they decided that was what was best for this year. I want to support them, and if this is something they were all on board for, I was okay with it.
Tigers! Go Tigers!
When we had a competition clinic, we brought in a choreographer from UCA, and they taught us the competition routine. And then between that typical break from football and basketball season, the girls had their regular practices and then some Saturday practices where things were a lot more intense for them.
I think our chemistry is really well, so our practices have been going well.
It's a sport for us, and it's basically consumed our whole entire life, so there's no way it couldn't be important to us.
Their big goal is going to competition and being successful the first year. I just really want a clean and consistent routine for them. They've worked really, really hard, so I want it to be something that they're proud of and that the community is proud of.
Best of luck to our varsity cheerleaders. Go support them on the 27th and 28th of February at the Jam Fest competition and on March 5th at the MCDA competition. With Bailey Volstecki behind the camera, I'm Allie Landman for Channel 97 News.
Hey, Jay Quellen, what's poppin'?
What?
SMH, you're so basic. It means what's up.
Oh, well, let's see what's poppin' in this next story.
Sup, fam? It's Ornella here. My squad and I went around Oakville to see how on fleek teachers' language is. This is about to be lit. Let's go.
Just plain.
Pass.
You are boring and plain. So I would say that Blake Gentry is basic.
No, chill out, dude. No chill. No chill. Senor Liberoff.
There's no chilling right now. Get to work.
Pass.
Well, I thought it would mean that you'd want a drink or something.
Like, right now I'm thirsty for the Lord. Pass.
To do an awesome job, I slayed that worksheet.
Medieval kind of idea.
Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
On a what?
On fleek.
Is that English? On fleek?
That's a mystery to me.
Eyebrows.
That means eyebrows.
Because somebody told us, but we don't know what.
Like, if you have really good eyebrows, you're on fleek.
Ratchet would be someone that I would not want to date.
Like,
oh, it's disgusting. It's ratchet.
Yeah, stinky.
Arnella's really ratchet.
Squad. This is my gang. These are my friends that I hang out with.
Come on, my
Like
posse.
my whole, yeah, my
Come on, squad.
This last weekend, I hung out with my squad.
Yeah, some of you teachers killed it while some of you are too basic. With photographers Annika Bernson and Michaela Heilich, I'm Ornella Peckage for Channel 97 News.
Hey, Jackie, you got a bae for Valentine's Day?
No, I don't really have that high of expectations for Valentine's Day.
That's okay. Sometimes it's not all it's cracked up to be. I'll show you what I mean.
Valentine's Day expectations versus reality. Asking out your crush.
Hey Taylor.
Hi.
I was wondering if you wanted to go out with me.
Oh, sure.
Hey Taylor.
Hi, who are you?
I'm Mark. Do you want to go out with me?
No,
No!
Giving gifts.
Happy Valentine's Day!
Happy Valentine's Day!
Wait, that was today?
Serenading your lover. First date.
Wow, you look just like your picture.
Romantic walk in the park. Even though your Valentine's Day might not meet your expectations, it's important to enjoy the reality and spend time with the ones you love. With Taylor Zaff, Max Rodenbeck, and special guest Mark Fogel, I'm Joel Hahn for Channel 97 News.
Well, that wraps up this edition of Channel 97 News. We hope you join us for our next show on February 17th. Thanks for watching. I'm Jackie Dreppard.
And I'm Taylor Zaff. And remember, Oakville, keep your eyes on the Tigers.